Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. This is Invest in Yourself, and my name is Cameron. Thank you so much again for coming to the channel and watching my videos. Oh boy, haven't we had a fierce last couple days. As you can see, the public account, it's been a rough one, up and down, and you can say volatility, anyone, but it's been pretty rough. But again, I just want to make this video to give y'all a little bit of insight and hopefully to calm your nerves, to understand what's going on and kind of recap what went on this last couple of days and what the expectation I have, especially coming up till the presidential election, what I'm looking out and kind of looking what I'm looking at to buy and looking to invest my money. So I hope you like it. Maybe pop a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below and tell me how you think. But we'll get into it right now. It's just going to kind of give a recap of this overall week. As you can see, as this past week, actually it's more of this past couple of days, it's been tough, because I think if you look here on the first, this account was already all the way up to 7% plus in literally a 2-day span, and then we started seeing a lot of these big mutual funds and these big money players in the market started rebalancing their portfolios, YouTube, and if you're not tracking, a lot of different mutual funds and big money market accounts who missed the March lows started getting onto this onto the higher highs, the bandwagon, back in probably May or June, and had to start gaining profits. And what they started doing is skimming some off the top to rebalance their portfolio into cyclic stocks and value, and these stocks that are beaten down due to the pandemic. And it's just a strategic game. So don't think this is a stock market crash. Overall, this is not a stock market crash. This is just going to be a correction, and we could see some pain next week, since the VIX is still floating between the higher 20s and low 30s, and it could possibly go up to the 40s. But again, hold strong. If you're a long-term investor, this should just be a blimp in the road, especially if you have a long-term 3 to 10 year outlook. Let's go over and just talk a little bit about Tesla today in the last couple of days. And I'm sure you are tracking the stock secondary offering they earlier this week, that they created $5 billion for their overall, from their market cap, and I think it's a great thing overall for the expansion of the company. And they probably should end up creating a little bit more. I wish they would have did about a secondary offering of about 10 to 15, but again, overall, this company was a $400 billion market capitalization company, but it fell under that mark now. But it was basically less than 1% of share dilution, so it was not a big deal. But again, a lot of these companies have skinned some off the top since they're rebalancing their portfolios since this last couple days. And if you are not tracking, around 5 o'clock Eastern time, I would say, the S&P 500 didn't vote in Tesla. So I'm not going to really speak my opinion. It doesn't really matter. They're not in, but maybe next quarter we'll get a different vote, and we'll keep on showing these haters what we're about overall in the company and the concept we have and what Tesla is really about. But again, overall in the market, again, this is just a rebalancing. This is just a correction. Should have been an expected correction. Just look at my portfolio in the last month. You can just see. Look, since we started going down after September 1st, in that 1 month period, I was up 36%. That's really unrealistic. And you can see just the all-time in this account, as of right now today, with the correction going on at 93%. But at the time, back on the 1st, I was at 123% with this account. And some of the run-up we had is unrealistic, YouTube. So again, this is a correction. This is a good thing overall, because we don't want to get to a point that these markets are going to continue to run up and end up either having a big crash later during the election, or have a lot of stagnation for 5 or 6 years going nowhere. So I think this is a good thing. I think this is an expected thing for the market correction, and so I think y'all need to take it in stride. I don't think there's no reason to freak out. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is what I'm doing. I'm holding strong. I'm waiting. If there's going to be more blood, that's great. This is just going to give me more buying opportunities. So again, hold strong. don't make any emotional decisions, because nothing's ever, no decision's ever made, great with emotion. So just hold strong and keep on striving what you need to do. So going on to the next subject, YouTube, when it comes to what can I expect with the market and the account the next couple months, especially until the election or towards the end of the year, I believe it's going to be a lot of volatility. There's going to be a lot up and down, and it's going to really test your willpower as an investor, especially when it comes, these indices. Let's look at the Nasdaq, give you an example of the Nasdaq right now. And I'm going to show you how, I'm not saying we're far away from reality, but just check this out. Look, since the 3-month period, looking back June 5th, we were up at that point, what was that, almost 1% at that starting that period of time. Just to look at overall what we ran in that 3-month period, 1% to all the way to about, let's see, 16, let's call it 16%, YouTube. The Nasdaq rose 16% in 3-month period. That would be a great year overall in anybody's portfolio. It would be a great year in the market. A 16% gain in the market would be unbelievable in any year for any type of indice. So we have to put things in perspective. Things need to cool down. We're probably going to see a little bit more correction in the Nasdaq overall these next couple of months, especially when it gets kind of closer into the election. Especially, we don't know which side we're going when it comes to Democrat, Republican. I don't get into politics, but again, whoever takes office is going to have a big effect either to the downside or to the top side. We have to take that into consideration, YouTube. And again, I'm looking to buy into the companies, that I like, and to the businesses that I like. When there's some pain, if there's pain and there's opportunity, that's when we have to take advantage of that opportunity. And I believe in this next, until the election, till the end of the year, we're going to have a lot of volatility in the market. But again, it shouldn't change your long-term strategy overall. You have to keep track overall and just stay the course. So looking in the last part of this video, YouTube, I want to kind of capture what I've done the last couple of days of adding some different a business to the overall portfolio, and I'm going to give you some insight what my plans are the next 3 to 4 months with this account and what I'm looking at overall. So we'll get into the company that I end up dollar cost average in the last couple of days is Workhorse, and I know some of you are tracking what Workhorse is, but if you're not, overall Workhorse is a company that makes electrical EV work vans, and right now they do have pre-orders with UPS and DHL. I think 1,100 total orders overall, and they have a contract out with USPS. Actually, they are one of the competitors on the contract with USPS, with Oshkosh Ford and themselves in the running to outfit the USPS mail vehicles, the whole fleet. And if they can get a percentage of that contract, I firmly believe it's going to raise this market capitalization of this company sky high, and it's going to reflect in the earnings of the company as well. Another thing to reflect is they back on Tuesday, I believe, they went in agreement with the Hitachi company when it came to managing their operational, manufacturing, and supply chain capabilities. And basically what that means is they're just going to help them get off the ground and manage their business better. This is a sign to me, YouTube, that they're trying to they're getting ready for mass expansion. So I think there's a lot more to what fits the eye with this company, and I think they know a lot more than what they're telling us or what they're able to release at this time. And I believe they probably got a percentage of this contract, and they have a date in mind when they're going to release it. I expect within the next 30 days or so. But again, this is a speculative play, and again, I keep my speculative plays less than 2 to 3% of my overall portfolio, and it's going to be a near-term hold. And it may work into a long-term hold, but right now the plan is near-term and trying to play out on this USPS contract and the pre-orders for UPS and DHL. But again, I don't do many of these, and when I have an opportunity and I sense the opportunity, I usually try to take advantage of it instead of doing any options outside the work. So going to the rest of the portfolio, really when I'm really focused on two companies, especially these next couple months, I want to try to get into the FB, add more shares. As you can see, the weakness of the last week, they're down 4.5%. And 4.5% is not that bad compared to some of these other mega tech companies, and especially the companies in the Nasdaq, and they fared pretty well this last couple of days compared to other companies. And I believe that even at these prices today, it's still a fair evaluation if you have a long-term aspect on Facebook. And I'm looking at any time I can get it right now at 260 or 250. It's a value buy for myself and a long-term buy overall. And I want to make this into my second biggest holding overall in the account outside Tesla. Next company we're going to go into is, I really want to build this emerging market company out with Alibaba, but they've been kind of skyrocketing on me the last month. As you can see, they've been going up 7% almost, and $17, and I've just been waiting for a nice pullback, and that pullback hasn't come. And I believe I'm trying to diversify in emerging markets, especially with China. I think this is going to be a good hedge overall to the market. I know there's some drawbacks when it comes to the political aspect between our country and China, but that's some of the risks I'm willing to make, and I don't think Alibaba is going to have much trouble when it comes to opening their books up to the SEC, because that's one of the restrictions I believe our country is going to make with some of these different emerging market companies. They're going to start having to be a lot more regulated compared to like companies we have that are United States based. They're a lot more regulated than these other companies that are outside of United States. So I believe Alibaba is pretty, as I go through a lot of their 10Ks and 10Qs and their conference calls, it seems like they're very open up on all their different assets and funds, and they're pretty transparent with everything they have, and that's why I'm a big fan and a big overall investor in this company overall. And going into overall the portfolio, again, you have to just look at it as, yes, I had a big pull down this week overall, but of 8%, $5,000 is a lot of money. But I try not to get emotional with anything when it comes to when we have stock pullbacks, because pullbacks are a great sign to buy. YouTube, it's a great sign to buy, and I wouldn't get emotional or anything. This is not a stock market crash. This is just a pure correction of portfolios and hedge funds and a lot of different big money players in the market, taking money off the top and putting money back into the cyclical and value and energy plays that have been beaten down by COVID. And so just expect for the next week and till election, there's going to be a lot of volatility in the market. Find those value plays where you can find value, where you think that, hey, there's going to be a lot of upside to this in the upcoming 3 to 5 years, because there's a lot of companies out there that's very frothy, and you don't want to become stuck between a rock and a hard place if the market goes down another 10% and you find yourself in a bad position in your portfolio. And sometimes we get in those situations, and hopefully you take those situations as learning lessons and makes you a better investor overall. But again, just hopefully you enjoyed what I cover overall these last couple of days. You can see in my account, I'm fully open and transparent with everything with my account overall, and I hope you really enjoy it. And let me know down in the comments if you want to see more videos like this, and let me know. Maybe pop a like, maybe subscribe, and let me know what you think. Again, thank you so much, and remember, always invest in yourself. Have a good one.